The Uniform Customs and Practice for Documentary Credits 2007 Division, ICC publication number 600, UCP, are rules that apply to any documentary credit, within bracket credit, including to the extent to which they may be applicable, any standby letter of credit. When the text of the credit expressly indicates that it is subject to these rules, they are binding on all parties thereto, unless expressly modified or excluded by the credit. So, from this definition, let's see the summary point, what you are getting from this definition. The Uniform Customs and Practice. Uniform Customs and Practice. What does uniform mean? Uniform means that it has a unique feature when it is used and on which in depth it is unique. Customs and practice. You know what is customs? Customs is that somewhere or some region or all around the world, some practice, some behavior, and some attitude are almost similar. That is customs. That when complying document will reach at your counter, you will pay. And it will be followed all around the world that when complying presentation will be in the desk of a European bank or in a bank counter of South America, somewhere else, everyone will practice accordingly. And this is called custom and practice, uniformity of custom and practice of documentary credit. So here, this publication, UCP 600, this publication is publication number 600 and it is 2007 revision. Every publication of UCP has its own identity, its own characteristics and features. UCP 600 is not beyond that. So it has some specific characteristics, feature, etc., which we will learn later on. It's a documentary credit. You see, credit. Documentary credit means credit that is related only to document, not with goods, services, and performance. And documentary type of any nature of credit is called credit. So it may be a standby letter of credit or some other credit also. So it is a documentary credit and it is mentioned here. To the extent to which the rules may applicable. You see, I have showed you some cycle of letter of credit through our last two classes. And you have seen that through the cycles, there are many parties involved in the letter of credit cycle. So, whenever which party is involved or entangle themselves or participate themselves in the transaction, they are under UCP if it is referred in the letter of credit. So, if you are not a party, if you don't play any role, you have no obligation, you have no responsibility. Therefore, the line is to the extent to which the rules, to which they may be applicable. That is, if a nominated bank perform as a nominated bank, then the nominated bank will be obliged as a nominated bank. If an advising bank advises a credit, it will be responsible for the part of its advising. That is to which, to the extent to which they may relate. Binding on all parties. If you are party, whenever you are party to the letter of credit, this letter of credit, this rule will be binding on that. Suppose you are a confirming bank. You have agreed to confirm the letter of credit and you confirmed it. Let the beneficiary know that you confirmed it. So, at the moment you have confirmed the letter of credit, you are bound to fulfill the function. Therefore, the context or the text of the UCP Article 1 says that it is a binding on all parties. Party means who acts under the letter of credit that is issued by the applicant, issued by the issuing bank to the beneficiary. unless expressly modified or excluded. You see, UCP 600 or UCP previously also has the extension that scope of revision or what I can say, modification. Suppose a letter of credit has been issued. Some terms and conditions should be changed. If it could not have been modified or it could not have been changed by the agreement of the parties, it would be difficult to complete the transaction in a proper manner. But it is necessary that, suppose you have stipulated that you will import 10,000 kilogram of whey powder or milk powder. So, in the middle, the supplier is unable to supply you 10,000 kilogram of whey powder. He phoned you or mailed you that I cannot supply the whole amount of whey powder. I have availability of stock of 5,000 kilogram of whey powder. So you, as an applicant, agreed and approached to the issuing bank that the LC should be amended. So this amendment then, when agreed by the beneficiary and the issuing bank, becomes the part of the letter of credit. So modification or exclusion can be done, and UCP has given the scope. It is also mentioned in the Article 1. And the interesting one, that standby letter of credit, as we have told yesterday in our last class, that standby letter of credit by nature is a letter of credit, though it is its original characteristics is a guarantee, but it can be performed or it can be issued for performing a commercial transaction. Therefore, standby letter of credit under ISP 98 has some deficiency by which commercial transactions cannot be done. So if you refer UCP 600, this part is fulfilled. So it then supplement ISP 98, or ISP 98 then supplement UCP for performing standby letter of credit. So from the definition here, Article 1, we have learned that UCP 600 by Article 1 has expressed its scope, dimension, its nature, obligation, etc. etc. Let's see some more analysis on UCP Article 1. UCP Article 1, if we analyze, we will see some major feature. Let alone the word or paragraphic description here. Unlike positive law, UCP is a private rule, you know, because UCP is published by ICC, and ICC is the global business chief global business organization. But it's a private organization, it's not government organization. And when some legislative or law by government is issued, it is law and people are bound by that law. But UCP is not a law, it is private rules. Here, private rule is applicable when you act under it, and it becomes more than law because it has a good expression to be uniformly used throughout the world. Therefore, being a private law, it has more adaptability. Suppose local law of legislatives of Bangladesh will not be applicable in London. Laws of America will not be applicable in India. But when you use UCP, it has a global acceptation. And being a private rule, it has much more vast dimension than a positive law of a region or of a state. So the rule has kept scope of exclusion that we have already discussed. It can exclude or amend its nature. So here has the flexibility. Suppose a law cannot be immediately changed without have a legislative agreements. But UCP, the issuer of the letter of credit and the beneficiary, with the agreement of the issuer and the beneficiary, any terms and conditions of UCP can be changed for better performance. So here has the flexibility. And it is a vast scope. This scope provision also impact on all articles of UCP. You see, Article 1 described in such a way that it has 39 articles. The scope covered the whole 39 articles. And you see, UCP itself is not a self-contained. UCP has kept more scope that whenever UCP, you will refer something to UCP. If UCP cannot complete the conclusion, you can go for ISBP, International Standard Banking Practice. You can go on that reference book or the opinions given by ICC time to time. So the flexibility of UCP and the liberation that UCP gives to the operators are much more, and its scope is written in Article 1. So by reading Article 1, it is become clear to us that the whole letter of credit, its dimension, scopes, its flexibility, everything is hinted in UCP Article 1, that is application of UCP. Therefore, we have to read it